welcome back to my channel. So it was my best friend's wedding a couple of weeks ago and I was maid of honor and it was a beautiful day, and I'll be showing you footage of that in a vlog coming soon. But essentially I intended to take like a week away from YouTube for that, and I took longer, and I apologize, but I don't know, I kind of got myself in a little weird mental zone of, well, I'm going to talk about this in a video coming up, I think, because I feel like it might be interesting. So I'll talk about that later. This isn't the time. This isn't the time. There's something specific I want to talk about in this video, and it is continuing on the theme of the psychology behind shopping and ways that stores and marketing companies might attempt to influence us or manipulate us into making purchases when, if we weren't persuaded as such, we might not want to. So this particular topic is something that I hadn't actually considered until a few days ago, when I decided that because we are getting towards the gift giving season of Christmas and all that kind of thing, that I would go on some shopping websites and just have a little peruse and see if there was any, fodder for a video, if there was anything where I could report back about ways that these stores are attempting to manipulate their customers. And I stumbled across something that I had never thought about before, and it's so obvious, and I don't know why I hadn't thought about it, but it's the concept of free shipping or next day delivery, or this sort of thing. So the reason that this was particularly interesting, I thought, was because I noticed that my reaction to having to pay for postage and packaging is one I feel slightly resentful towards. I mean, it's an incredibly credible service and I should have to pay for it, but the idea of, I've gotten used to not paying for it, and the idea of paying for it now feels, I don't know, it feels like I'm being taken advantage of, which is ridiculous as I say it. And the other thing is, having to wait more than 2 days for my package to arrive feels, I don't know, it doesn't feel, I've come to expect a certain lifestyle, I think that's what it is, and anything less than that I'm like, oh well no, if I have to wait that long, then no, I'd rather buy from elsewhere. And to be honest, it's ridiculous. It's very, very hashtag first world problems, hate that phrase, but it is. Anyway, I wanted to explore this a little bit more. Why do I feel this way, and why is free next day delivery such a marketable thing? Why is it something that consumers flock to? So here's something that was news to me, because I was very aware that when we go shopping or when we make a purchase, there's a dopamine release, there is a kick of endorphins, something that makes us feel really good, and that's why it is an addictive thing. But I thought that that release of the chemical happened when we actually bought the product, so when there was that exchange of money for an item, and it was the receiving of the item that made us feel that way. But that isn't the way it works, and this was very surprising to me, but dopamine is actually released in anticipation of a reward, not the actual receiving of one. In a report entitled Digital Dopamine, nearly 75% of people, well, around 75% of people, said that they preferred buying things online to buying things in store because of that feeling of anticipation that they get. So anticipating our purchases makes us feel good. They give us literal joyful chemicals. So that is why online shopping, as well as the convenience factor, has the edge. But let's confront this whole next day delivery business. So if we make a purchase and we expect it within 24 hours, or roughly 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours, then it's an ideal time frame, because anticipation and excitement for the product do fade. And also, it's not quite enough time to grow impatient. It's a very specific boundary, I think. Oh, cat hair all over my face. If we have to wait too long, we either grow impatient or we stop caring, because we already got the thing we wanted, other than the actual item. We already got our happy kick of endorphins, so the actual product itself is sort of secondary to it in a lot of ways. And when I was researching this, I realized that impatience is something that I don't know a lot about from a psychological perspective. Obviously I'm aware of it as a term and I know the feeling, but I thought I'd do a bit more research on it. Impatience is triggered when we have a goal and realize that it's going to cost us more than we thought to reach it. So in this case, the goal is owning an item, like physically having it on our hands, and the cost is time spent waiting for it to arrive. So if we buy something that we want to have, that we feel like we need or we're excited for, then we don't want to risk feeling impatient because it's not that's just not a nice feeling. So the window of 24 to 48 hours to wait for something to arrive is the ideal amount of time, psychologically speaking, because we get all of that anticipation, we get all the dopamine release from that, but we don't have enough time to feel impatient yet. Okay, so let's talk about free shipping now. So one of the reasons that free shipping is such a good marketing tool is because we as a species, I guess, are only just used to actually buying things online. So as far as we're concerned, the additional cost on top of our purchases feels unjustified because we could just go to a store or because we're used to just going to stores. I also feel that perhaps buying stuff online feels, as well as feeling more convenient because we don't actually have to leave our house, if there is free shipping, it rationalizes the decision. So if you were in two minds as to whether to buy something, free shipping might just push you there because of the added convenience. But also, if you did have to leave your house and go to a store, there are going to be additional costs like transport and petrol, all this type of thing. So the idea of not having to pay anything and just getting your items, it feels like you are saving even though you are spending. Also, generally speaking, I know there's a few instances where this might not be the case, but generally, if you buy something online, you have to pay for it to be delivered to your house. So you cannot have buying online without having delivery. So the consumer can feel a little bit resentful having to pay that extra cost when it's impossible for the purchase itself to exist without the delivery. If you know what I mean, if that makes sense. Online shopping doesn't exist without delivery. So the idea of having to pay for delivery as an additional service can feel a little bit, I don't know, resentful. It's like when you have to pay for something on card and then they charge you extra for using your card and there was no other option. It feels like you're being taken advantage of. And one of the ways that these companies make their money is by creating some sort of customer company bond in some way. They want you to feel like welcome and to have a positive relationship with that company, and free posters and packaging is a very good way of getting there. So to conclude in some way, free posters and packaging and next day delivery is just another marketing tool. It might feel like it's more generous or like you're getting a special deal or something like that, but at the end of the day, it is a marketing tool. It'd be very, very easy for these companies to inflate the cost of their products to cater for the extra delivery cost and persuade you to buy something. You know, there's all those memes that are about this kind of thing. The idea of having to pay extra for your postage and packaging and delivery feels more painful than getting something tangible that you can keep forever if you chose to for that money instead. Sometimes I say sentences that go on for so long that I forget how they started, and that was one of them. And I feel like I say this every single time I do one of these videos, but I do have to say that marketing is an art form. I have so much respect for it. When I say that people are taking advantage of their customers, that's the whole deal. That's what it's about. It's not a case of, you know, there's these evil businesses trying to make all of their money off the poor consumer. It's merely that I feel that the consumer needs to be armed with the same tactics as the businesses so that they are less likely to be taken advantage of. Because, you know, you might genuinely need something or genuinely want something that you have found available online, and then you're able to get free postage and packaging, and then that's fantastic. Next day delivery, you've done really, really well. It's when you're in two minds about something, if there's something you don't actually need and it is the free delivery / postage and packaging that is going to like push you into actually making the purchase, then you need to be like, whoa there, whoa, ho, 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 ho. What am I doing? What am I thinking here? Do I actually need this? Am I being manipulated? Don't get manipulated. That's the moral of the story, I guess. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Normal service is resumed. I'm going to make a video soon about how I've been feeling, but in a kind of, hopefully this will help you too kind of way, not in a self-centered way. Hopefully not. Anyway, we'll see how that video turns out. But I genuinely hope you are all doing very, very well. I'm sorry for my absence, and please feel free to contact me in any way, like genuinely. I love speaking to people who have the same interests as me, and you guys have the same interests as me. So please feel free to leave a comment, just saying hello. That would be nice. Or contact me in any other way that you wish. And I will see you in my next video. I hope you're doing very well. Please feel free to follow me on my Instagram, which I'm trying to keep more updated, but doing a terrible job at, and also to check out my blog. And I will see you in my next video. I hope you're all doing well. I'll see you later. Bye.
Your position, heartfelt, social condition, not bad, but I have it any other way. Day and night, it's not the same as being wrong, right? There is truly grace, but sometimes